Activision's recent pre-E3 festivities, we had a chance to check out Prototype 2. You guys may remember the first Prototype game. It was this open-world title that followed the story of Alex Mercer as he faced off against a mysterious organization known as Blackwatch. How's Prototype 2 looking? We had a chance to check it out.
Prototype 2 is a story about Sergeant James Heller. He's a man that's forced to become the thing that he hates to save the city that he loves, and also more importantly, to avenge the family that he lost.
And this time, Alex Mercer, who you played as in the first Prototype, is actually the enemy this time, right? That's sort of a really interesting dynamic, kind of taking the sequel and spinning it like that. Is that kind of one of the initial things you guys had decided on, like right from the beginning?
Well, we tossed around a few ideas, but we wanted to make sure that we captured the spirit of the IP. And the spirit of the IP obviously is the ultimate power fantasy. And Prototype is really about the virus itself. Alex Mercer was a representation of the virus, and now James Heller is going to be another representation of the virus. And while it may appear that he's an enemy in the world, he's an enemy to James Heller just because of what he did.
How long after the first Prototype does this take place, and like, kind of give me an explanation of like what's going on in the city?
Sure, yeah. New York City is now known as New York Zero. After 14 months, which is how long it's been since Prototype 1, is really deteriorated. The red zone, which is Manhattan, is now basically a scarred, shattered skyline of what it was before. There's lots of crazy stuff's gone on. There's huge viral outgrowths that just take and turn this city into a literal urban jungle. We've also got the yellow zone, which is similar to Children of Men. It's a quarantine zone where there's a lot of packed people, there's a shanty town. Everybody's just generally depressed and want to get out. And then we have the green zone, which is really under martial law. There's curfews, and basically Blackwatch have carte blanche to do anything they see fit to kind of keep the virus out of the green zone.
Let's talk a little bit about Blackwatch. Is there kind of, I guess, tyranny over that section of New York? Is that going to be a big story element in Prototype 2?
Yes and no. I mean, again, the focus of Prototype 2 is all about Heller driving to kill Alex Mercer. Blackwatch is a pawn in this chess match, but you know, they will play an important part in certain pieces for sure.
One of the big things about Prototype, I think, was kind of all the powers that you had with Alex Mercer. What are some of the new things that we're going to see in Prototype 2 in terms of that stuff?
Yeah, the one I'm really excited about is the Tendrils power. It really allows you to create unique and interesting ways to take out all your enemies. The way the emergent properties of the game worked makes it so that any 2 times you play the game is going to be completely different. And you know, after years and years of working on the Prototype franchise, I still giggle to myself at all the stuff that was happening.
The other thing you touched on was the mutations, which you had kind of compared to perks.
Yeah.
Did you guys, this is sort of a weird question, but did you guys sort of look to games like Call of Duty that have the perk system as sort of an influence on that kind of stuff?
There's a lot of games out there that use perks. Fallout's another great example, Call of Duty. Absolutely. And what they really allow you to do is customize the way you play the game. For example, in Prototype 2, there's going to be multiple levels of perks, and collecting them all is going to be part of the fun. Because I don't know about you, I'm a huge collector. Yeah, every nook and cranny, I will look and see what's there. And we hope that players will drive through Blacknet to do the same thing and look through every nook and cranny and collect all the mutations. But what they do is, again, allow the player to customize how they want to play. For you, maybe you love the blades, maybe you want to upgrade your blades and use the perks associated with, the mutations associated with the blade. Right. For me, I'm a huge fan of the Tendrils. Again, I'll probably do the same thing. I'll use the mutations associated with the Tendrils.
Cool. One of the big things I think about Prototype 1, and probably my favorite thing about Prototype 1, was the traversal stuff. Is there anything you guys specifically learned about kind of like setting up the world in such a way where traversal makes sense that's going to like be in Prototype 2?
Yeah, I mean, the most important thing for the player is basically, if he wants to go there, let's make him get there. And we're going to make it as easy as possible to get there. In Prototype 1, you basically had hold one button down and you were running over anything that was in your way. We've kept all that in Prototype 2. People loved it. You know, the feeling of running up the side of a skyscraper and gliding to a building below. It's just, you don't get that in many other games. So for us, we wanted to hammer home that point that yes, people like this, let's keep it, let's move forward.
What platforms and when is it coming out?
Prototype 2 is coming out in 2012 and it's going to be out on the PS3, Xbox 360, and PC.
Cool, awesome. Thanks for talking to us.
Cool, thanks for your time.
Want more out of Prototype 2 and everything else at E3? Well, stay tuned to our live stream, kids.